How old were you when I met you? Because I remember you being like the young, prodigal child.
Probably 18, 19 in there,
Yeah,
right out of high school.
yeah. And we met, just to take us there, we met at the Fugue,
Blue Fugue, yep.
which many people will be familiar with, but was this little hole in the wall, grimy, cool,
It was cool. Yeah,
eclectic place. It was a mixed crowd.
yeah,
You know, you'd see anybody could be
yeah.
there, and it would be normal.
Mm-hmm.
And that was, I think, the cool part about it,
Yeah, man.
including underaged, inebriated,
Yeah,
essentially children.
yeah.
Some of them on stage, of which you were one.
Yeah. No, I started doing open mics there, like right out of high school with people that I used to run around with, and we were like it was like 3 or 4 of us, and yeah, man, that's kind of like how I cut my teeth, so to say.
Yeah,
Like performing on a stage in front of people was just like with a gang of people, just like rapping over like a lot of beats that like I made. Um, and, I wouldn't even rap all the time, but I was there.
yeah. I remember at first you being like one of a gang
Yeah,
of
exactly. Yeah,
scrappy young men.
yeah.
You know,
Scrappy,
yeah,
dirty.
yeah, dirty kids. You guys were dirty
Yeah,
kids.
yeah.
Now you never like you never did what I did. Like you never identified as like a punk rocker, did you? Like where was your head at as far as like self identity at that time?
I don't know, man. I was all over the place, to be honest with you. Like, because right around that time, I just had a kid, so I think a lot of like finding my identity was a result of that.
Sure.
Because initially, it was like I'm running around with these, scrappy, dirty kids. It's like
Yeah.
who I was. I was, one of the gang, but I had other prospects as well. But it was like that's kind of like who I identified with. And then it was as soon as there's a baby, it's like, oh, well, I gotta take a step back from all this and kind of figure things out, I guess.
Oh, yeah.
But I knew I wanted to perform. I knew that that's where I was at. That's emotionally, and that's I wanted to be on stage performing. It was very, I don't know what the word is, therapeutic, for lack of a better word, to be on stage, to be performing, to be Ghost. You know what I'm saying?
Man, we've talked about some of this, but like more in like a conceptual way.
Uh-huh.
We've bonded over like the way our thoughts on music and our feelings on music. There's some of the gritty details I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
So what happened? Did you show up to rap practice one day and tell the posse like, "Hey, we're not a posse anymore"? What happened?
Yeah, it wasn't really. I guess it wasn't really that dramatic. It was.
Yeah.
It was more of a slow fade. When people start, getting into hard drugs and shit like that, or they change. Their definition of existence changes.
Oh, yeah.
Their priorities are different, and my priority was still like being a good dad, working, and also performing, rapping, and I couldn't say that about the rest of them. It started, becoming less and less of a thing in their lives. So it was kind of like, it ended up, I'm the only one showing up to these open mics at the Blue Fugue, and I'm just like, that's fine, because this is for me. This is, this is about me now. This isn't about us as a unit, as a group, doing what we're doing, and whatever the half-baked plan was. It was very much like, yo, this is me.
Yeah. Yeah,
So.
doing what you got to do to keep the music alive.
Yeah, exactly. Just keep on pushing.
Yeah, definitely. Oh boy, we got into the hard drugs right away as a topic. let's go back. How would you frame your life story, and what leads you to getting to that point where you're at the Fugue on stage alone?
Mm-hmm.
Did you grow up in Columbia?
Yeah, I'm from here, born and raised, man. I grew up Lake of the Woods area. D Block, Demerit,
Sure.
like I was on a little cutaway street, Lima Lane, and all the people that I was running around with, is D Block, the first time that like I smoked weed, I was like 13, like I was young. I guess
That's pretty young.
I guess that's young. I've been told that's young. It doesn't seem young, because that's like that's It's what you did when you were 13 with, you know, the people I was running with, I guess.
Sure,
You know,
yeah,
it's
yeah.
kind of like,
Hey, everything's context.
yeah,
For
dude,
sure.
it's all perspective.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know, man. It was like skateboarding, smoking joints, and just like kicking it and shit. And I guess just as after years, there was, you know, exposure to other outlets. So it was like prescription pills were super easy to get at school, and it was like, well, I don't have money to buy weed, so I can get. Homeboy will throw me, you know, like a Percocet or an Oxycodone or whatever. You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah,
it's like,
sure.
yeah, I can get high or whatever. I feel like it's a weird thing to say, but this might just be because I'm kind of fucked up, but like I feel like human beings just like they are drawn to being fucked up, because like even little kids, like they spin around in circles to
right.
get dizzy, to feel different. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I guess like I was just like a kid, just like spinning around in circles, just
Uh-huh.
so it was just kind of like, oh, what else? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, like a game. It's not very.
Yeah, man. It wasn't like I was trying to like scratch an itch, but it was just kind of like, I don't know. Maybe this will make me a better writer. Maybe this will give me some more like depth. Maybe this will give me some more perspective on shit. And so, you know, I just feel like I met all the wrong people at the wrong time. You know what I'm saying? So there was like, you know, there was a connect on like getting cocaine, and I'm like, you know, 15 years old, young. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I'm not even driving yet, and it's like, well, you know, and at first, because you know, like, I don't want my parents to feel like they fucked up raising me.
Yeah.
But by no means did they. Because at first I was like, nah, I don't know that. But I kept being around it. You know what I'm saying? Like I didn't separate myself, and it just became like, well, you know, they're doing it and they're fine. They're fine. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, totally.
So it was like trying it and being like, oh, okay. And then you tried it because it's there again. You know what I'm saying? It's just like it just became a thing. And you don't. I guess you don't really realize that it's making the impact that it's making. That it is becoming a problem until it's too late, until it is a problem. You know, so from coke, you know, it's like, well, so and so's, you know, whoever, you know, cooks crystal or what, you know what I'm saying, or whatever it is, or country dope. It was, you know, and just being around it, just being around the wrong people, but feeling like, well, I should do that because it'll make me more like them, because it'll make me more. Goes back to just having more depth as an artist, to have some interesting story, and it, you know, makes me feel good too. You know what I'm saying?
Sets you apart.
Yeah.
Shit gets normalized. It's weird.
It does,
yeah.
And it got to this point where all my friend, like a childhood friend, like we grew up together since we were like 8 years old, and you know, he was my homie, he was my boy throughout all these years, and we were always kind of like together, and you know, it got to this point where everybody's got a needle in their arm, and I'm like, I can't. That's not. There has to be a line drawn, I guess.
Yeah.
And I guess that's where mine was. And having, you know, that was right around the time that, you know, I had a baby. You know what I'm saying? So it was like I can't fuck with you guys. I can't. You know, this is nah.
Yeah.
And with that, a lot of people change, and it kind of ties back into the question, you know, what happened to the group? Well, when you start sticking shit in your arm, that is your life.
Yeah.
So they're either in jail, went to jail, got out, went back to jail.
Yeah.
Or they're completely gone from Colombia, living with a relative of some sort. You know what I'm saying? It's like some other world to surround themselves with.
But a way that we came together, because we have an album together, obviously. Odd Souls. Yeah.
How old is that shit? 2, 3 years?
I was going to talk about that. So about 3 years ago.
Yeah.
Maybe 3.5 now. About 3 years ago, I was out front at Rose Music Hall, and you were like, "When are we going to do a song together?"
Right. Okay. Yeah.
And you were like bugging me. You're so aggressive.
Okay.
You were like aggressively being like, "Why aren't we friends? You know, why aren't we rapping together?"
Okay, all right.
Because I would always be in your ear about how good you were and all this. And so you were like, why aren't we doing a song together?
Okay.
Why have we still not done a song together? And I said to you, and it was probably a cop out. I said, I'm not really kicking it with as many people now because I'm sober.
Uh-huh.
And and you go, well, me too.
Oh,
Like
tight.
you were like, oh, I got a great.
So it's actually
Yeah,
cool.
your
All right, good. Well, me
excuses.
too.
No, yeah, you were like, your excuse is invalid.
Yeah.
Like you have no more excuse. And I was like, oh, I guess I gotta hang out with somebody now that I don't.
That's
I gotta
funny.
get out of my comfort zone.
That's funny.
And man, with me, I just go 1,000% towards whatever I'm doing.
Yeah.
And so us doing a song together became. You were gonna quit rap, and
Dude,
so,
so many
I was gonna
times.
salvage your album.
How many times
I was like,
quit?
oh, I'll be the missing pieces to your album.
That's funny.
In like one conversation, us doing a song together became,
Yeah.
we'll have an album in a month.
Yeah, it was a bunch. It was like 10, 12 songs, something.
Yeah,
It was
yeah,
quite a bit. And
very quickly.
yeah, it was like a bunch of beats that like I had made. Like the thing is, like I make a fuck ton of beats, but like I don't write as much as I produce. If that, yeah, like, and a lot of that shit just sits there still to this day. People watching, like I make beats, and they're not like they're not like beat. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like it's
totally.
dude, like they're fucking hip hop. Like it's like write some real shit and like fuck with ghost beats. Like that's what we did. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah,
we
sure.
like wrote some real shit to some ghost beats, and it was like, you know, it was dope. But yeah, I was at this point where I was like, man, I don't want to do this. Like it goes back to like I didn't feel like I was getting the reception that I deserved.
Right.
You got so many people like, oh, you're so dope, you're so this, you're so that, and you're like, yeah, well, that literally changes my life. Zero. Like nothing is changing by you saying that. Like I'm still going to work. I'm still fucking hate my life and blah blah. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? Like
totally.
so it's like, what is the point? You know, I wasn't even getting satisfaction out of it because I don't know, because my ego or something. I don't know what it was.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
yeah.
saying? I was 3 years ago, 20 years old.
Newly
Yeah.
sober, very young.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
I was dealing with all this shit with, you know, my personal life with my daughter and like, you know, her biological mom, and it was just fucking drama. It was just constant bullshit. Yeah, man, I quit rapping so many times, but like, I don't know. I came back like the past year. I've been at a year pretty fucking hard. I
Yeah,
feel
yeah,
like.
totally.
With a new like,
Constant output and
with a
shows
new state of mind about it, just like, I don't know, man. Just there's a scene worth cultivating. I don't know. I feel like a different person. I don't know. It's just different. It's just different this time.
Yeah,
You know? I feel it, and I feel like other people feel it too.
Yeah. Do you want to talk about now? Is this dated lingo? Is it being signed? Is it still being signed? Do you want to talk about joining Indie Ground,
Yeah, man.
the record label / crew
Squad.
squad?
IGE.
Squad.
I don't know if
is the
it's squad.
technical
I
term.
feel like I shouldn't say that.
Whatever it is.
I feel like
But-
if they saw me say that, they'd
but-
be like, what?
Yeah, I think bottom line, branding and distribution help.
Far Out used one of the instrumentals that I produced for his record, If We Could Prove It's Possible. The single off of that, Bittersweet, is something that I produced. So I've always been kind of like in contact with them.
Well, to where it became awkward that you weren't part of them, because that's who's booking
Maybe
all
so,
these shows.
man. Maybe so. Maybe
Yeah,
that's
it just
what it
kinda
was. It was it
manifests.
became, you know, a fork in the road, I guess. You
Yeah.
go this way, we're gonna go that
Yeah.
way, which, you know.
And I remember feeling that way with Indie Ground like 8-9 years ago.
Okay.
Being like, as soon as No Coast came out and I was the battle guy, as soon as that was on the internet,
Uh-huh.
I was like, now I have to battle Steady. Now Steady has to battle me. And he was like, I don't. Really?
Yeah, I
You
mean,
know?
no, you don't gotta do shit. You know what
Right.
I'm saying? Like,
Right.
but dude, it's just like it seems right. I feel very rooted. Like I've always had a lot of appreciation for Indie Ground, for Steady, especially like as I was trying to do shit by myself and realizing the hurdles that he had to go through, like
Yeah.
building a scene where there is no scene,
Right.
and keeping it consistent, keep
Yeah.
the wave, the rhythm, and all that shit. I'm
Right.
just like, I took a step back and was like, yo, this dude's about it, man. Like he's done what seemingly seems impossible.
And things used to be more rough a little before your time. I don't mean to be like
No,
an
dude.
old man,
Please.
but man, when Steady was booking the shows when he was still living in Como,
Mm-hmm.
it was we kept losing venues because people would pull guns out and start fist fighting
Yeah.
each other and stuff.
I heard
And that
stories.
just kept happening.
yeah.
Like 05, 06, 07 were rough. Were rough.
Yeah, I was
And the fact that he
wee lad.
the fact that he kept doing that, looking back now, knowing that he was 2021 when that was going on,
Yeah, he was
is
probably a
crazy.
student
I
here,
thought
yeah.
he was like,
Yeah.
I looked up to him far more than somebody. He's only a few years older than me,
Mm-hmm.
and I just was like, oh, this guy's a vet. He knows what he's doing.
Yeah.
I don't know how he got through that.
Yeah, dude. I don't know.
That's
It's
crazy.
Perseverance.
Yeah.
Just belief, man. I don't know, man.
Yeah.
Just I feel I'm very honored. Like I feel very like accomplished in a way. I know like people are like your hard work paid off and da 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 da.
Yeah.
And it's like no, dude. It's just getting started. Like this
Yeah.
is step one
Totally.
from here.
Yeah. It was great sitting down with you. This
Yeah.
was awesome.
Cool.
This was awesome.
Yeah.
I was gonna pretend like you were about to perform, like let's see what you do in here. You already did it. He already did it. I already ruined it.
I'm not even wearing the same clothes.
Not even the
like...
same clothes. So let's travel back in time now and watch your studio performance. You guys are in for a treat. One of the best things I've seen happen in public access television in my decade involved in it.
Appreciate that.
It was great. Happy it happened with. Happy I was able to provide a platform for you.
Yeah, thank you.
Thanks for joining me, man.
Yeah.
Let's listen in.
All right.
Thank you.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
Van Ghost. How's everybody doing? Sometimes the worst things in life will turn and inspire you. A never lasting passion is burning, good thing I'm fireproof. I was pretty much fucked up for my entire youth. But what's up? I'll provide the truth and try and never lie to you. Look into my eyes and be surprised that you will find the proof that hip-hop is alive and proved and shining like the brightest moon. I'll put this city on the map, I'm a treasure, can find the loot. It's not that I'm impatient, but shit, I don't have time for you. Bet you could not understand exactly what I'm trying to do if I explain this in the simplest way I've designed for you. This the shit that bumping in the systems that they're riding to. I compose in rolling rotations and write a rhyme or two. Is it godforsaken? I made some mistakes to face it. It's Mason back in the basement. Guess it's better late than never. I'm on some other shit you never heard of, and I'm certain when I surface it'll feel just like your first love, baby. I'm a killer, hard shell armadillo. You looking soft as a pillow, I hold it up like a pillar. Look at what I built up, built tough like 4 trucks. Fuck with me and get torn up. Underground to the floor up, different sound in the form of your searches on Pornhub. Bite off of my corn cob and I'll start testing your thug. You're the type to get pissed at a joke and then storm off. Well, I keep this shit on lock like a broken doorknob. Normally, I'm a nice guy, but I might try to change that like the night sky. With time, I got a sick mind and I rip rhymes. I won't get signed, but it's fine cause I get mine. I get in line right behind me. Where do you find me? Right in front of these punk ass chumps, R.I.P. Man, I don't give a fuck, these are all my beats. And I'ma do my damn thing and never fall like leaves. Let's get it. The Holy Ghost, make it overdose, yeah. And I might just blow your mind. I only know this lonely road, yeah, as I leave it all behind. Look, I got bigger fish to fry than the whip that I drive. Shout out to my wife, yeah, I'm whipped, it's alright, hey. This dog belongs on a short leash with 3 legs. I need someone to support me. See, Tim records me. I won battles, was for free. That's morphine for a fiend, so keep claiming that you're clean. The score seems even. I'm not Martin Scorsese. I'm more like Tarantino shooting gory porn scenes. Yo, the door swings open and another one closes. I suppose that's how it goes when you're coasting to life's motion. I'm about to get emotional, dog. I'm over devoted to something that hasn't happened. I feel like I'm growing old and nothing seems to change. And this breath that I'm holding is about to be exhaled. I feel I failed for what I'm hoping. No one noticed when I left the scene. Nobody was texting me. No coast wasn't home, and I had to change my focus. I had a strange notion to link up with a couple homies. We started an alternative band and we played some shows, man. A lot of shit's been quoted, but who do you think wrote it? Started butting heads and decided it was best that we broke up. So now I'm back again with this boom bap and a clap again. Backing in the drop of a load, leaving my tracks with 10 pen and pad in hand. And I'll be damned, I still got it. Picking up where I left off and build from the bottom. Let's go. Holy Ghost, make it overdose, yeah. And I might just blow your mind. I only know this lonely road, yeah, as I leave it all behind.